Everyone, at some point in life, has that one person they never truly forget. Someone they still think about when the house falls silent, when no one is watching. I spent more than half a century convincing myself that I had forgotten her. I told myself it was just a memory, just something everyone goes through when they're young. But I was wrong, because when I finally found her again, at the age of 82, what I discovered didn't heal me. It shattered me in a way I never could have imagined. I need to tell you this story before I lose the courage to do so. My name is Harold, and for over 50 years, there has been a ghost living in my mind. Her name was Lillian. I met her when I was 19. She was 18. It was the summer of 1961, a small town in Pennsylvania where nothing ever really changed. Fewer than 3,000 people. Everyone knew everyone, and nothing unexpected ever happened there until the day she walked in. It was a Tuesday afternoon, hot, quiet, and dull. I was working in my father's shop, dusting shelves, counting the minutes until closing time. Then the door opened, and everything changed. She was wearing a pale blue dress, nothing special, but I still remember it as if it were yesterday. The way the sunlight touched her hair, the way she looked around, as if she didn't quite belong there. She asked me to help her find something. I don't even remember what it was, because the moment I looked into her eyes, something inside me stopped. We talked for about 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes rearranged the rest of my life. 2 days later, I saw her again at the town fair. Music, lights, laughter everywhere, and somehow all I could see was her. We rode the Ferris wheel together, shared a piece of cake, talked until the lights went out and everyone had gone home. And just like that, we became inseparable. Every afternoon after work, we met by the river. There was a spot beneath a large willow tree. No one ever went there. It became ours. She told me about her dreams. She wanted to leave that town. She wanted to become a writer, to write about people, about life, about everything she saw. And when she spoke, I listened, not because I had to, but because I wanted to remember every word she said. And when I spoke, she listened too, as if what I said actually mattered, as if I mattered. That feeling, I never had it again, not like that, not even in my marriage. We made plans, big plans. After finishing school, We would travel. We would build a life somewhere else, start over from nothing, together. I was young, and I believed that as long as you had love, it was enough. But here's something I've never told anyone, not my wife, not my children, not even myself, until much later. She didn't just stay in my memory, she stayed in my body. Even after I got married, even after I had children, even when my life looked perfect from the outside, there were moments when she came back. Not just her face, not just her voice, but the feeling, the way she held my hand, the way she leaned into me as her breathing slowed, the way time seemed to stop when we were together. There were nights when I lay beside my wife Eleanor in a quiet house, our children asleep in the next room, and my mind would drift away, back to that river, back to that summer, back to her, and I hated myself for it because Eleanor, she was a good woman, a kind wife, someone who gave me a life many people dream of, a home, a family, stability, and yet there was always a part of me that didn't belong to her, a part of me still sitting beneath that willow tree in Pennsylvania, and no matter how many years passed, no matter how full my life became, I could never fully let go. I told myself it was normal. Everyone has a memory like that. One person, one what if. But deep down, I knew it wasn't just a memory. It was an obsession, and I carried it with me for decades. That summer passed faster than anything I had ever known. And then the day came, the day everything began to fall apart. It was an afternoon. We were sitting by the river under our familiar willow tree. The sun was setting. Golden light spread across the water. But that day, she was quieter than usual. I asked, "What's wrong?" She didn't answer right away. She just looked down at her hands, then said something I would remember for the rest of my life. "My family is moving." Everything inside me stopped. "Where to?" "California, in 3 days." 3 days. I remember forcing a smile. A weak, unconvincing one. I said, "It's okay. We can still keep in touch. Letters, phone calls. I'll come visit you." I thought, as long as we wanted it badly enough, everything would be fine. But when I looked into her eyes, I knew she didn't believe that. She shook her head. "Harold, I can't ask you to wait for me. You have your whole life ahead of you." I said, "You're not asking me. I'm choosing to." She started crying. I held her. We sat there until it was completely dark. Before she left, she kissed me. A kiss longer than any we'd ever shared. She whispered, "I'll write to you." Every week, I said, "I'll wait." 3 days later, she was gone, and I started waiting. Every day, I checked the mailbox early in the morning. Before my parents were even awake, I was already outside, just to see if anything had come. 1 week passed, then two, then a month, nothing. I told myself maybe she was busy, maybe she hadn't settled in yet. But then Christmas came, and I had to face the truth. She didn't write, or didn't want to. I tried to find her, called every place I could think of, sent letters to the towns she had mentioned. Nothing, not a single trace. In the end, I had to accept one thing. She was gone, and she didn't want to be found. I went to college, and there I met Eleanor. She was completely different, nothing like Lillian. Eleanor was steady, calm, practical. She didn't make my heart stop the way Lillian had, but she made me feel safe. And after everything that had happened, I thought maybe that was what I needed. We got married in 1966, had 2 children, a son and a daughter. We bought a house. I worked for an engineering company. She was a teacher. It was a good life, a life that anyone looking in would say, "You're a lucky man." And they wouldn't be wrong. But they didn't know there was something I never spoke about. Lillian never left, not inside me. There were moments when I sat at the dinner table with my family, listening to my children talk, but in my mind, I was seeing her. There were times when Eleanor held my hand, but what I felt wasn't her hand. It was a memory so vivid. It filled me with guilt. There were nights I woke in the middle of the night and my mind was flooded with images I couldn't erase. The times we were together, the intensity of it, the way she made me feel something so different, so deep, so real. It wasn't just love. It was something else, something more consuming, something I could never quite name. And the worst part was, I never truly escaped it. Not after 5 years, not after 10, but for decades. Eleanor never asked, but she knew I could always feel it in the way she looked at me in the quiet moments. But she never said anything until she was lying in a hospital bed in 2012, cancer. In those final weeks, we stayed in that room together. One evening, she took my hand, weak but firm, and she said, "Harold, I know I didn't understand. Know what? She looked at me, her eyes calm, but so deep I could barely hold her gaze. I know you've always been searching for that girl. My heart nearly stopped. I've known for a long time. I was about to say something, to deny it, to explain, but she squeezed my hand. It's okay. It really is. I've had a good life with you, but there's always been a part of you I could never reach. I couldn't speak. My throat closed up. And then she said something that has haunted me ever since. Go find her. Find that girl from Pennsylvania and set yourself free. I shook my head, but she just smiled, a soft, gentle smile. Don't keep living in the past after I'm gone. Those were the last words she ever said to me, and I promised, but I didn't keep that promise. Time passed, not fast, but not slow either, just quietly. After Eleanor died, the house felt empty. No more voices, no more laughter, just me and the thoughts I had spent a lifetime avoiding. One day, my daughter said, "You should get on Facebook so you can keep in touch with us and the grandkids." I didn't want to, but eventually I gave in. One night, I couldn't sleep. I picked up my phone, scrolling aimlessly, and then it appeared, a face, older, more lines, hair turned gray, but I knew instantly. It was her, Lillian. My heart started racing. My hands began to shake. I clicked on her profile. She was living in Harrisburg, 2 hours away. 2 hours for 30 years. Just 2 hours from me. I sat there for over an hour, not knowing what to do. Then I typed, "Lillian, it's Harold from Pennsylvania, 1961. I've thought about you every day for over 50 years. I just want to know if you're okay." I didn't sleep that night. I kept checking my phone. Nothing. 1 day, 2 days. On the third day, a message came. "Harold, I remember you. Let's meet." I could barely breathe. We agreed to meet at a cafe, somewhere between our towns. I arrived 30 minutes early, sat by the window, watching every car that pulled in. Then I saw her walking across the parking lot. Slowly, I recognized her immediately. We sat down, ordered coffee, exchanged a few polite words, but we both knew that's not why we were there. And then I asked the question I had carried for 50 years. "Why didn't you write to me?" She looked down at her coffee, silent. Then she said, "I did. I didn't understand. I wrote to you every week for a year. 52 letters. Everything inside me collapsed. I never received, not a single one. She looked at me, and for the first time, I saw it. The pain, not just mine, but hers too. I wrote about everything, about California, about how much I hated it, about how much I missed you. Every week, I sent a letter, and you never replied. I told her about the mornings I stood by the mailbox, about the phone calls, about how I had tried to find her. We sat there, piecing it all together, and then we understood. Her father, he had never accepted me. He had blocked everything. 52 letters, a year of waiting.